Hi, my name is Adina Cohen, and I decided to discuss low residue diets, um, mostly because I don't really know much about this diet, so I thought it would be a good learning opportunity, not just only for my classmates, but for myself as well. So, why is what is the purpose of a low residue diet? So before we answer this question, I just wanted to make sure we all knew what low residue meant. So residue refers to any indigestible food substance that remains in the intestinal tract and contributes to stool bulk. To reduce, so the purpose of a low residue diet is to reduce the amount and size of bowel movements in hopes to lessen painful inflammatory bowel disease symptoms while prolonging intestinal transit time. So it's sort of like giving your bowels a little break, and we're hoping that that would help just ease some of the symptoms in inflammatory bowel disease. So who is the intended population? So this diet is appropriate for people with inflammatory bowel disease such as Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, and bowel inflammation. And all of these have in common that they are issues associated with the GI tract. It's also appropriate for people who are pre and post abdominal surgery, for instance, colorectal surgery. And there was a randomized trial conducted which demonstrated a statistically significant reduction in the length of stay of patients who were on a low residue diet as opposed to people on a clear fluid diet after they had elective colorectal surgery. So that was just a proof in that study that this diet was helpful for people post-surgery. And I put stars next to diverticulitis because it's not so clear whether a low residue diet is in fact helpful. The guidelines from the National Institute of Health actually state that a high fiber diet is recommended to help diverticular disease. So there are conflicting views as to whether a low fiber diet would be helpful or a high fiber diet. So the actual diet restricts fiber and foods that are hard to digest. So fiber is made up of plant material that can't be completely digested by the body. And with a low residue diet, we're trying to eliminate as much fiber as we can, again, just to give our bowels a break. And foods that are high in fiber would be whole grain breads, cereals, nuts, seeds, and raw and dried fruit. So those would be appropriate to eliminate. So recommended alternatives would be white rice, noodles, refined pasta, and enriched bread. Well-cooked vegetables such as squash, pumpkin, and spinach would be appropriate, as well as canned vegetables without seeds such as green beans, mushrooms, and beets, and cooked potatoes without the skin, as the skin has a lot of fiber in it. Raw vegetables such as cucumbers, lettuce, onions, and zucchini, and fruits such as bananas, cantaloupe, honeydew, applesauce, and avocado are all great choices. They're foods that are healthy and have low amounts of fiber. Milk and dairy do not contain a lot of fiber. However, they may trigger irritable stomach symptoms for those who are lactose intolerant. So although milk and dairy don't have high levels of fiber in them, those with certain inflammatory bowel diseases may also be lactose intolerant, and if so, they should just beware not to have too many of these products, and if they do, to prepare accordingly with they have lactose pills, etc. Meats and proteins contain no fiber and may be eaten on a low residue diet, so those are good choices. Butter, mayonnaise, vegetable oils, and margarine are also permitted on this diet. And foods to avoid would be seeds and nuts, whole grains, raw and dried fruit, raw vegetables, beans and lentils, peanut butter and jam, popcorn, and fruit juices with pulp and seeds, as all of these foods contain high amounts of fiber. How long should one be on this diet? So a low residue diet is not intended to be used permanently, and it is meant for short-term use. It's usually used during disease flare-ups and post-surgery to help recovery. And the reason it shouldn't be used for long-term is because it's not the healthiest diet. It does eliminate a lot of foods and a lot of healthy foods, and therefore it is just a short-term diet. Potential challenges with this diet are adjusting to not eating as healthy as usual. So if someone is used to eating a lot of whole grains, nuts, raw fruits, and vegetables, it may be difficult to start watching what you're eating, especially because these foods are still healthy. So it's hard to stop eating healthy foods if you're used to it. And that may be one challenge, as well as it may be difficult to meet all your nutritional needs as you are eliminating a lot of fruits and fiber and vegetables in your diet. And supplementation may be appropriate if you are on this diet longer than the intended use. And constipation is another issue that may come up because you are eliminating a lot of fiber in your diet. And it's important to drink a lot of water on this diet. And what to expect? This diet will not cure the inflammation. Rather, it can help lessen symptoms. So people shouldn't expect to get rid of their inflammatory bowel disease by being on this diet, but they should expect, hopefully, to lessen the symptoms that come along with it. And that would be the most important thing that people should realize going into this diet, so that they're not upset with the results. And that was it, and I hope you all enjoyed.